Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
How was that? Was that a big distraction?
No, I don't think it was a distraction at all because my wife and her mother, they did all of the planning, and I just got to go enjoy a party pretty much. And you know, on Saturdays, on the weekend, we don't do that much, and I'm either gonna go out, hang out with friends, or I'm gonna go do something that's fun and do some kind of activity to pass the time because I'm not training. So having a wedding was easy peasy for me.
How much do you actually get to enjoy the wedding?
Oh, I got to enjoy it to the fullest. You know, like me and my girlfriend, well, my wife now, she ex-girlfriend now, wife. But we've been living together for 4 years, so I knew she was the one. I love her a lot, and to me, saying those vows and doing that step was easy. You know, like I knew it was gonna happen, so it didn't shake me in any way.
So the honeymoon waiting till after the fight?
Honeymoon and waiting after the fight, depending on if I win. If I win, we'll go to Morocco maybe for a couple of weeks. We want to do something a little bit different, a little bit exotic, so I'll go check it out, see what it's like.
What's just the pressure of opening the card, this big UFC 217 event? You're the first one from the team fighting. How do you intend on really setting the table?
You know, none of that stuff really matters to me. I just think about like, I'm fighting Ricardo Ramos, you know? I'm not fighting the event, I'm not fighting UFC, I'm not fighting against Madison Square Garden. I'm fighting against a man, you know, who's I can beat, just like he could beat me, you know. I could win and I could lose. So I take every fight like I always do. It's just another guy. He feels pain, he gets tired, and I can finish it.
Is there a difference going through training camp when you have all those teammates fighting on the same card and everyone's kind of clicking and moving towards the same goal on the same night?
It's nice to have the whole team fighting at the same time, you know, like we just had Louis fight last week, and I got Joe Duffy, GSP, and a bunch of other guys who are fighting on cards around our card as well. And it makes for a good atmosphere in the gym because there's no kidding around. Everyone's here to train and focus. You know, the guys come on time. You have enough training partners because everyone's getting ready for a fight. So you know people are going to show up to practice, and it's really nice to have a team effort. You know, fighting in the cage, you're alone, but to get to the cage or to the octagon, you have a team that supports you. You know, so it's nice to have everyone training and getting ready at the same time because you really feel that team feeling.
This is a big jump from Halifax to New York City now, right?
Really? I don't know. I don't feel a difference, man. Like no offense to anybody, but like the guy I fought in Reginaldo Vieira in Halifax, I thought he was super tough. He had a good record. He has more fights than this guy, you know. And I'm not saying that this guy's better or worse than Reginaldo. That's not what I mean. It's just like there's just other guys who have 10 fights, 10, 11, 20 fights. I don't know. I'm not fighting Madison Square Garden. I'm not fighting UFC. So I'm just fighting these guys. You know, I would have fought Ricardo Ramos here in Montreal. I would have fought him in Las Vegas. So it doesn't really change anything. Not for me personally. You know, maybe after the fight I'll be happy I fought in Madison Square Garden. It's nice to have that notch on your belt. You know, like I'm super happy to be fighting in New York because a lot of legends have fought there. But it doesn't intimidate me. You know, if I got to the UFC, I belong there as well. You know? So I don't feel like I don't belong.
Talk about I was speaking to Joe a couple of weeks ago. He was saying how important you are to his camp and like he's important to your camp as well. What's it like having Joe training here? I think you gave him the
me and Joe are becoming brothers. You know, like we're getting super close because like when he fights, I'm in his corner, and when I fight, he's in my corner. This time we're both fighting in the same night, so we're not gonna be there for each other in the corner. But through training camp, every day after every session, we're always asking each other how you're feeling, what's going on. We're always in each other's ear to support each other, and if I need extra work or he needs extra work, we're there for each other. Appreciate Joe a lot, and he's someone that you can talk to. He's got a lot of experience in the game. You know, he's boxed, he's fought in MMA for a long time, and he just makes it easier. He knows how to take away my nerves, and I feel like I kind of do that for him as well.
You seem just not affected by this big card, this big stage. How much is the fact that you've just been in this gym around these big fights, big fighters? Really
I feel like that's helped me a lot. You know, like I've been backstage for GSP fights. I've cornered Rory once against when he fought Tyron Woodley. I've cornered Miguel Torres. I've cornered so many great fighters. Yves Jabouin, like Ivan mentioned before. I've cornered so many guys in the UFC. I've done the walk a million times, and it's kind of like taking away the pressure of the lights. Like the lights don't burn as much. You know, like even my last fight, like I did feel some pressure. Like obviously I don't want to lose my first fight in the UFC. You know, a lot of people expect me to go in there, do like a backflip, spinning, hook kick, jump. I don't know what exactly to knock somebody out just because I'm Frost's brother. But I'm human too, you know, I make mistakes and I learn from the pressure. I did feel some pressure. I was a little hesitant, like sometimes he made mistakes and I didn't crush him, you know. And normally when I fight, when I see the hole, I bury guys. And I feel like I was a little bit more hesitant in my first fight, and hopefully this fight, I'll be myself completely.
Do you feel there's a pressure, like obviously your brother's very well respected, like you knew what he's done on the short and years. Do you feel that pressure when they say your name, your brother?
Like the best example I can give about Faraz is that When I say he doesn't really, like he cares, obviously he wants us all to win, but winning and losing is not everything for us. It's about how you perform, you know, like there's fights with some of our guys, they went out there and they won, and we are disappointed in them. We're backstage, we're yelling at them, we're like, how could you have gassed out? How could you have done this? How could you have done that? We've planned for this and you did the opposite. And then there's times when they lose, but they've done everything we've asked them to do, and they did everything properly, and just that night you weren't the better guy. Or that night you got caught with a punch. So what? One fight doesn't, you know, decide how good you are, you know. Just because you lose doesn't mean you're worse today than you were yesterday. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with that. A lot of times guys from losses, they get better. Look at Michael Bisping, you know, he's got a lot of losses, you know, not more than that. There's people much worse than him, but he also has the most wins in UFC history. He's got 20 wins in the UFC. So if everybody, you know, always doubts him and this and that, but he always believes in himself, and us, we always believe in our fighters. As long as they listen and they do the proper thing, we'll always stand behind them and give them more chances and try to keep pushing them further into the UFC and to the goals they want to reach. Because winning and losing doesn't define you. You know, it's how hard you work and the effort you put in. Like Conor McGregor, you know, he's pretty amazing fighter, pretty amazing guy inside and outside the cage. And I like a lot of the stuff he says about fighting. And when he lost to Nate Diaz, he went out and he celebrated. And he took a shower, put on his suit, and he celebrated. He said, I worked hard for this fight. Win or lose, I'm going to go out and celebrate it like as if I won. Because I put the effort in. I dieted, I trained hard, I gave my best. And that's how I feel. So if on November 4th I lose, it doesn't change my life. Because I know I'm better than what people think of because I lost one fight. I'll come back and I'll win another one. You know, there's guys who like Robbie Lawler gets kicked out of the UFC, wins belts in every other MMA organization, comes back and wins a UFC title. You know, so there's more than one way to be the best.